Hello, welcome to the stream. Wouldn't be a stream of mine without checking out the new Final Fantasy games, so I'm going for that today. It's going to be a probably only a short stream because we've got a bit of a podcast going on later as well. Um, I'm at the start of the game, Final Fantasy XVI. I've just played uh, just the opening section, which is really short. But this is the very start of the game where the I believe the demo took place. Now, bear in mind, if I have any issues with audio or video or anything like that, I've had to fiddle with cables and all sorts of stuff again. So I've had some audio issues over on Xbox. So just trying to get some of that sorted out. So hopefully, I've already had this cut out once today, but I think it's good now. So I haven't tried the demo. This is the first time I've played. I figured I'd wait until the game came out to actually give it a go. Yeah, so keen to see what everyone's been raving about. So let's go. Let's go. All right, so I have no idea how much of this is just cutscene, or how much cutscene there is actually at the start of the game. So hopefully not a whole lot. We can get into a bit. So game started off with you battling as an Akon. I believe Phoenix against Ifrit. And I don't know what the intro of the game's like in terms of there. I know there's at least some tutorials, but hopefully there's not too much cutscene wise. Looks like my audio's fine. Shout out if you notice I have any issues or anything like that. I was a bit worried there's going to be some breaking up with this as well, but hey, I'm always experimenting with my gear, so maybe be looking at doing some changes with my labels and borders and all that kind of stuff again as well. So hi, hey, how's it going? Is it Surdy Salot? Surdy Salot? How are you today? Checking out some Final Fantasy? Yeah, I'm good. Sir dies a lot. Oh, okay, cool. Right. That makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, I mean, it's bad enough with my name, Kyo Live at Home. It's either Kyo Live or Kyo Olive. So, yeah, just making it all one word, and a lot of these handles make it a bit hard sometimes. Was an eyesore to look at. Yeah. That's why on the tag name on the screen I put the little brackets around Kyo so it can kind of, distinguish it a little bit. So I try to do that wherever I can, but not a lot of places let you do it. So now, have you checked out Final Fantasy yourself, or is this the first time you're really looking at it? Okay, so a lot of the previous games. Yeah, I've played through all of the numbered games, a handful of the extra games, a lot of the DS games and stuff like that as well. So, but have you tried this one yet? Can only wait 2 years for this to come PC. Yeah. It's going to be a little bit for a lot of that. This is pretty much the primary reason I have the PS5. This one and getting the PS5 upgrade for Final Fantasy XIV as well. So, which I stream that where I can as well. There's been a bit of a lull with that one though. I've been doing some other games like Resident Evil 7 in VR and stuff like that. So I'd be looking to go back and do it. I've already done a playthrough stream of at the Endwalker live, so I don't really want to do that again. But I've got a character that I'm working through that's up to Endwalker. I need to play through that and do some endgame. The gameplay in this game seems to make it worth playing, even if you know the story. Yeah, I did try it. Yeah, it looks good. Like getting a little bit more streamlined with the combat with the Devil May Cry style will be a little bit more pleasant on the hands, I think. I played Strangers of Paradise not too long ago, and I really, really like the style of games that developer does. But yeah, it's a little bit tougher for people to grapple, I think. But they've gone more for the Xenoblade style. Okay. I've not played the Xenoblade games. I've thought about playing them. I know they're really, really big games that need a lot of your time, which I haven't really got a lot to start a new series. But I'm dabbling with the Switch a little bit more these days, so I finally got my hands on Breath of the Wild, which I avoided for years. So that character kind of looked a little bit like Zidane, actually. Yes. I found the same with the Sword Art Online games. It was a MMO style single player game. Some of those older ones on the Vita were really, really good. So if you like that style, then they're really good as well. So since the 14, have you played Final Fantasy 14? Tried a trial. Okay, right. So and was that a long time ago? A free time for an MMO? I don't have enough time for Final Fantasy 14 either. Um, there's always the hopes of doing more and more of it, but I ended up doing buying a character skip when it was on sale just to get to Endwalker again with my new Oceanic character because I knew I couldn't play through the whole story, but I've got the intention of going and doing. They have a story replay feature, so I got to the end of the A Realm Reborn, and have the intention now that I'm kind of closer to the end game just to go back through the story replay feature and maybe stream a little bit of that. So if nothing else, if I'm not quite through Endwalker, maybe I should start doing that with that character. That make a little bit more sense. It'd be nice to have a character that's kind of gone right through the game streamed, but A Realm Reborn was just way too much. It was too much to put people through, I think. So things pick up a little bit after Heaven's Ward. Hey, thanks for following too. So, yep. Yeah, Final Fantasy VIII's my favorite as well, actually. So, I actually haven't gone back and played the remaster of that yet. I really need to. So, yeah, it's funny. A lot of people don't say that it is their favorite, but you kind of um, you do find that like on the down low, there are a lot of people who really liked 8. So, okay, let's have a look. This looks good. Top 3 is 8, 15, and 7 in that order. I now this is kind of odd, but I would say that the MMOs are edging on my favorite. I actually think that Final Fantasy XI is quite good, but only because of the trials I had to go through playing that game. And it was they were adding some trusts, something called trusts to the game, where you could have NPC characters running around with you, like your other like just like having a party. So I was playing it just as they were adding the final trusts to the game, and I was able to do the whole thing solo. And every single time I played, I was learning a new system, learning something new about the game. So those trials have just kind of set me up to really enjoy that and Final Fantasy XIV a lot. So, all right, now is there a sprint? No, I'm just going through here. Not played the MMOs enough, so I can't rank them. Yeah, I get it. It's really tough, and I can't really recommend 11 to many people if you've really never played an MMO. Even after I'd finished playing the game, I was still going back. If I went back and dabbled a little bit, I was still learning new things, and it's just there's too much in that game, way too much to learn. 14's a little bit easier to deal with, but getting through the story is the worst. To catch up if you want to play with your friends. So, all right, let's have a look. So it looks like he's automatically climbing up the walls. Yeah, I like Stranger of Paradise too. I did stream that entire game, except I didn't bother with the DLC. So I'll go back and play the DLC in my own time because it was kind of intermingled amongst all the odd random missions, and I never did any of the side quests, so I couldn't tell you what's a side quest and what is a DLC mission really at all. So yeah, I really enjoyed the ending of that. The final cutscenes were just stellar. So I'm glad that you've actually played that. So that's I played a lot of Dissidia Final Fantasy on PS4 as well. So and I really like that, and that was by the same guys. You can kind of see a lot of crossover with the way combat works and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, Jack is an interesting character. So I do really enjoy that they have a lot of character kind of popping up in the new games. Like you can get a lot more familiar with the characters and their backstory. I hear this game has a lot of delving into the characters' backstory, which is going to be really good. So generic angry guy, yeah, yeah, I agree. It's hard to see past the chaos memes, really. So makes it a bit more difficult to you know tolerate. The game was actually pretty tough close to the end. Um, but yeah, I do stream a lot of the Final Fantasy games and try to go. I want to do a bit of Crisis Core, but I haven't really got into that yet. So I've got a couple other games I want to stream before I get to that. So yeah, no, they did not. It did not help at all. So did not translate to well in English. Yeah. So okay, so it looks like this is a combat tutorial. All right, attack the Lord Commander. Let's get into it. So X to perform, up to 4 attacks can be chained together. I'm assuming it's just a one button. Okay, melee attack. Okay, have to do the same thing again. Nice and simple. I'd be interested to go back and play some of the Pixel remasters as well. I've only ever played the DS version of Final Fantasy III, So I'm thinking if I'm going to play any, I might play that one first, see what the old pixel version's like. Alright, press triangle to cast fire, range a spell that can strike enemies at great distance. Okay. Yeah, chain. I really like the. I've seen this in some of the demo videos where you can kind of just chain the magic. So Xenogears remake is likely now. Yeah, actually, I'd be interested with the Super Mario RPG because there's a couple of Final Fantasy references in there as well. So we really just need Chrono Trigger because we only ever I don't know where you are where you live, but in Australia we never got Chrono Trigger outside the DS version. That was our first introduction to it, and to this day I've never actually been able to finish the game. So maybe one day. Yeah, yeah, it's a shame. Um, we actually had so R1 to evade. We know that from the Eidolon fight at the start. Evading attack at precise moment is dealt. It is dealt will temporarily slow the enemy, making it susceptible to counter. Okay, cool. So counter can be square or triangle. So there was an anthology game for the PS1 in America that included Chrono Trigger, but we actually never had that included on our anthology. So, um, so yeah, it would have been good if that carried over here, but it never did. So, Xenogears though, I never ever got to play the Xenogears stuff, either. So that was another one that kind of we missed out on. Oh, I'm dodging very well. Yeah, so Xenogears and Chrono Trigger both big problem getting a hold of in Australia. So I would be definitely keen. I would like to try Chrono Cross, but I don't really know if I need to play Chrono Trigger right through to actually do that one. So maybe no official release anywhere outside of the initial. Yeah, yeah, that's a problem with a lot of the games. So and they're all getting a nice resurgence. So it still might take a few years to actually get, but yeah. All right, calling on the Phoenix. All right. Blessing of Phoenix grants Clive the ability to perform feats of inhuman strength and dexterity. Phoenix Shift is one icon feat. Press circle to swiftly close at the distance. Both melee and ranged attack can be used while executing. Okay, so there we go. So I mean, very very similar to Final Fantasy 15 with some of these, just a lot more smooth. So yeah, well, a lot of games are putting disclaimers at the start saying that they have their content existed in a certain time period, so there may be, racial issues and all those kind of yeah, all the symbolism that pops up in the games. I mean, it existed within a certain time, but they have to kind of respect you know, the thinking of the people who created it at the time. So which they could totally just put that disclaimer in there, and they're acknowledging that they understand that it was a problem, but we're now in a different time. So you you know you just have to be honest and acknowledge these things. That's all. All right, consume things. D-pad. Okay. Anywhere on the D-pad. Okay, that's pretty normal. It's in the main. Right. Okay. Heal up. Xenoblade still carries the same themes as Xenogears. They have. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard that too. So all right, so we need to fully restore first. Okay. Lesson complete. Okay, didn't have to fight there. should be paying attention to my master. Yeah, I'm sure we're going to start seeing a lot more pop up on the new Nintendo, the things that they do on their Nintendo network, the arcade apps and stuff they have for the old games, the emulation, whatever that's called. Um, all right, the wheel gauge indicates opponents will to fight back. Okay, cool. So that pops up in a ton of games. Sony and Microsoft kind of play the same similar cards really. So they're all just trying to right. Let me just see what's going on here. Dodge. The focus on dodging so I actually beat the tutorial. All right, broke his will. There we go. Staggered. All right, Lord Murdoch's will has been broken, leaving him staggered. Try dealing as much damage as you can before he regains his senses. So R2 and square. Rising flames. Okay, there we go. Can we do that more than once? No, it has to build up. So we can still do Phoenix Shift. Sorry, I've been sick this week. I hope to do a few more streams before this came out of my Resident Evil 7 playthrough, but unfortunately ended up with a cold, so that kind of stopped me. So there we go. All right, staggered. Let's try and can we use this thing again? Yep, there we go. Jeez, Postals on Switch, really? To see if they even released that over here, because you'll find that there's a lot of region stuff we probably didn't even get it. So Hatred, yeah, I know Hatred. Yeah, Hatred was one of the first big games really stirred up some controversy with in the modern day controversies for this what ethical standards they should be running. But sometimes people need to distance themselves from the artistic visions, I guess. Video games aren't people. And I very much doubt they'll push ideas onto people. One person made a meme direct. Oh, where Hatred was revealed as a Nintendo exclusive. That would have been funny to watch. If that's on YouTube, I should check some of those out. Yeah, right. Well, maybe they should do a crossover with Metroid or something. Sure, that'd go down well. Nintendo themed crossovers with Hatred. Mario in Hatred. No? I wouldn't put it past them to do anything. Nintendo have shown themselves to be outside the realms of people's expectations. So, well, they still just make toys, don't they? They're still a toy company. Yeah, there's been a few changes in leadership across a few companies, so including Square Enix. So they've all got their all own new ideas. So the hardcore gamers in Nintendo's eyes are most likely going to be the loyal fans over anything else. So um yeah, they did. It did. I mean, I still have my Nintendo Switch set up, right? So not my Switch, my Wii U. I never picked up Mario Kart on the new Switch because we've only got the handheld version. So I still play the Wii U version with my wife. So I still have a couple of the old Nintendo Wii games installed onto it from the store, like the delisted Final Fantasy games, actually, which I've never played. The My Life as a King and a Dark Lord. So I should really try and do something with them. So maybe uh, they're not really stream worthy, unfortunately, those games. So unless it's like 24-hour streams, just leave them running. That'd be hilarious. Games basically just play themselves, I hear. All right, cool. We've got some gameplay again. Go. Sunrise, sunset, finding your way. Finding yourself get lost. You can click in L animal instinct action. Okay, cool. All right. So, just having a look at the way the game's running, I believe there's a little bit of a motion blur that's unavoidable. Just kind of slow the background down a little bit. So the background doesn't seem to be very smooth, but you can see the character himself is always in focus, and I think running at the highest, I guess, frame rate really. So everything else around him is kind of taking a bit of a toll. It can't be turned off. Yeah, maybe they'll like, add it as a update or something. But if they turn off the motion blur, then it's going to start showing some details that they hid in going in some of the tricks that they did. There's a lot of little tricks that you can trick gamers with, make things look a little bit better. So useful items can be found across a realm to notice who, so you know where to look. You find them in the items tab. Oh, okay, cool. All right, yeah. Well, I mean, if you're pointing, feel free to point out anything that I say that's incorrect. I don't mind getting called out. It's funny and educating at the same time. So, um, but yeah, did you check out the Digital Foundry review of this? I said was correct. Well, there you go. So, where the combat was supposed to be set at 60 frames per second, and then it dips outside of combat down to 30. So I think that's kind of what you see there a little bit as well. So because it's all outside of combat. So yeah, I haven't done any game dev myself, but I have done I did an animation course using 3D Studio Max, I think 7 years and years ago. So never really did anything with it. I've worked in retail for a very long time. So nice. Yeah, pretty much. That's all right. It's all about getting the best experience, and the combat with the battles and stuff is going to be the big draw card here. Draw card? Yeah. It'll be the big thing that people are looking at for the high octane experience. That's where you get it in the combat, right? So everything else is story. So yeah, I mean, it proves their flexibility, right? They've looks like they've done a few things that have stunned a few people. I'm not quite sure how their systems work, but they seem to be doing well. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So in typical fashion, we're going from small cutscenes to bits of gameplay, at least at the start here. So hopefully that doesn't go on for too long. Focus on the action, resolution detail drops would not be noticed as much. Yeah. So as long as the character details are prioritized in combat and everything else can kind of drop down to whatever they want. So well, I mean it's a good example and hopefully it will get better over time and people will add that to more games. So yeah, a little hobby product. I need to do a few more hobby projects, and it starts with fixing up some of the stuff that I have on my stream. So, um, but at the moment, I've just been putting together a few little YouTube videos and stuff like that instead. But I have been tinkering around with Blender actually. So neural network that is like DLSS, but for textures instead of resolution. Okay, yeah, cool. I'm kind of picking up little bits over time just to kind of learn a few new things that I haven't really delved deep into. So, yeah, the AI stuff's going to be really good. Really, really advantageous for games. There's a lot of dialogue and we say AI stuff happening at the moment too. So hey Cooper, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. Checking out Final Fantasy XVI. Would say have medium quality textures. Make my program makes what you see look like high quality. Yeah, okay. That's we definitely need more of that. And I assume that would operate in real time with movement and all that kind of stuff. Characters environment mostly. AI to upscale the textures on important so you can do that. Yeah. He looks kind of like Noctis, actually. I think that's what you find from both of the characters, like him as an adult as well. So yeah, we really need to get PC to a state where they're where it's operating without using a lot of overhead resources. So because it's killing everything. So yeah, if you can work that out, more power to you. All right, active time law. All right, hold down active. Okay, compilation of important information about lives, current storyline progress. Okay, everything can be accessed later in the game. So let's try that out. So what we have 5 different panels. We have Elwyn Rosfield, Iron Kingdom. So we click on these. Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right, Archduke of the Grand Duchy of Rosaria and father of Clive and Joshua, loved by his people for his steadfast leadership, both at home and on the battlefield, which he put to good effort in quelling the northern territories. Right, the Grand Duchy of Rosaria, a nation occupying the western reaches of the continent of Storm, with Rosalith as its capital. Rosaria was originally formed from a collection of smaller dominions, all of which now stand united under the banner of Archduke Elwyn Rosfield, not possessing a mother crystal of its own. The duchy has long been locked in bitter conflict with Iron Kingdom over possession of Drake's Breath, which lies further still to the west in the midst of the sea. Right, Rosalith Castle, situated in the heart of ducal capital of Rosalith. It is from towering ivory fortress that the Archduke, his family, rule their nation. An architectural feat the founder himself would be proud of, the castle has stood since the early days of duchy and watched over the rise of its proud nation and the people who inhabit the city beneath. While the crystals, we won't go through this every single time, but it's good to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the game, right? So all right, the Mother Crystals, enormous glassy mountains, 5 of which tower over the lands of Velastea. They are the source of all the crystals that the people of the twins rely on in their everyday lives. Not only that, but the lands surrounding them are rich with aether, making the magic's crystal cast even more potent. For these reasons, great nations have sprung up around each mother crystal and have long warred each other for their possession of blessings. Alright, the Iron Kingdom, final one. Alright, this is a long one. Iron Kingdom, also known in the local tongue as Harayan. The Iron Kingdom is an archipelago nation situated off the west coast of Storm, with its capital at Craig Loister. Loisker? The Mother Crystal, Drake's Breath, rises from the volcanic island situated just within or without its borders, depending on whom you ask, and has been the subject of long-standing conflict between the Iron Blood and the neighboring Duchy of Area. The Iron Kingdom's inhabitants shun any contact with outsiders, which has been given rise to a unique, if largely inward culture. Hey, there we go. That's a little bit of lore, Hitman, right? Alright, speaking of Xenogears, like Xenodis here, my good friend, he wants me to stream Hitman instead of everything that I've been streaming. Well, he just wants me to play Hitman. He doesn't care if he'll just pop in and out, and then move on with his life. I'm sure it's bedtime for him right now. So, all right, let's have a look here. All right, textures are the main VRAM hog in indoor games. Yep. So if you can use AI sampling for those, you can have more higher quality textures on screen at a time. Yep. So my current model is mostly designed for environments. Yeah. Well, environments are going to be I mean, everything's low detail in the background in games, right? So, you know, we want to push those up while keeping resources down. So, all right. So let's talk to Lord Commander. Okay. All right. We need to go up there. So, are there stairs somewhere? What are these? Okay. Wow, that's so dark. Okay. I was able to detect that they were actually stairs without actually seeing them. So, yeah, it is nice. Okay. So I suppose they need to light their stairs a little bit better, or people are going to trip. So on all GPUs, do you mean it's just flexible and that it scales depending on the GPU, or? Okay. Okay, so he's denying his responsibilities there a little bit. Yeah, I wish I had a little bit more background in some of that stuff to tinker with some of those. Um, like I've not done any coding or anything like that, so I'd have to learn any of that from scratch if I was gonna try and do anything. Maybe one day I'll have some time. Live seems to be a pretty interesting character. Yeah, I've developed most of my knowledge by osmosis with the with all of this stuff. It's been so long since I've done anything animation wise. But yeah, with the work with Blender and stuff like that, I had a 2D version of my logo and I kind of made a 3D spinning version of my logo. So that's a good start. So which is the one down in the bottom right. So that's actually a video only activates when I change panels and scenes that I can turn on and off. But I put it at the start and the end of my streams as well, so I've kind of integrated that into my start and end screens. So it's good to start dabbling with this stuff again. I always find it interesting seeing hyper intelligent young characters. Just like how are they supposed to know so much stuff about the world at a young age? I know I didn't learn that much when I was young. So what I've found with the music in this game so far is that the Soken's interpretation of for this game is very similar to the work done in 14. So it's kind of, I guess in true Final Fantasy fashion, makes you want to play other games while playing this game. So makes you want to go back and play some more 14. Okay, so we've got the map screen now. World map displays all the locations indicated by glowing points. Currently available by fast travel. Okay, that's good. We can fast travel. So there's no zoom in, zoom out function. Looks like it's just pretty basic. I think we just need to start right here though. So it's a nice looking map though. So yeah, it's hard trying to learn about how games like this are made when a lot is kept very close to the chest in terms of pulling off certain details and stuff like that. So um, whether or not I mean, really, you can only just find what they've been using to create the tech, like what programs they use to build stuff, and then you're obviously just you're interpreting what they've done with what that system can actually do, how they've implemented. So timely accessories, okay, cool. I don't need to equip any of the timely stuff. That's all good. Anybody that needs to, I guess it's a bit of contention with the timely accessories being the accessibility um, options. I think, I mean, you don't have to use them, but if they're being used, then you probably don't need any of the other rings, right? I guess it doesn't really matter if you're equipping those rings or if you're equipping something else, because you don't really see them on the character or anything like that. So they just make things easier. But I mean, unless I haven't seen yet what the other accessories do, but so I guess if they're equipping different abilities or spells or anything like that, that's stopping you from actually using spells. Like if you equip all of the easy combat stuff, then you can't equip spells. Then that would really cause problems. So we'll just have to see how that works. So making some funny noises. Nice looking models though. Alright, Magic Burst. Use triangle after striking an opponent with square to conjure a magic explosion. Okay, cool. All right, let's try that. Use them at the same time. Okay, there you go. Guess if you're kind of tapping them at the same time, then that kind of works. So. All right, so this is our first real chance of exploring the areas. So out in the open world. Well, I guess it's not really an open world. It's kind of linear. It's like from A to B with a lot of this. So okay, do my combo. Then you press triangle. Okay, that does a little burst. Some enemies will drop kill items on their defeat. Loot is gathered automatically. Okay, cool. Auto gathering. That's good. It's very helpful. Combat seems to be okay so far. Not too bad. It's like we've got a whole bunch of random offshoot areas just for picking stuff up, but there's nothing to them. Just kind of just go off the path or do things. So okay. All right. Okay, so this is a text thing. So strength tonic. So uh, I don't know if it really matters a whole lot going off and getting these extra items. I don't tend to use a lot of items when I play, so like strength tonic and stuff like that. Like it's, do you save them or do you use them? You know? Okay, looks like I'm being attacked from that angle. Let's see what the timing is of this. Okay. New enemies approach. Okay, so it glows to tell you if enemies are behind you that are attacking you. Let's get rid of this guy. Definitely want to dodge. Cool. Straightforward. I mean, the combat with those rings, it seemed really, really slow. Like not speed wise, like frame rate wise, but everything just seemed to wasn't like fast combat. So Have we learned their names yet? All right, level 5 Goblin Weaver. Okay, that's all very easy. See if this guy's any harder. Well, let's see if this guy's any harder. Larger enemies must be faced with caution. They have far more HP than their smaller counterparts and will often use devastating abilities to overwhelm opponents. It's the blessing of the Phoenix. Do not only deal considerable damage to these enemies, but also break their wills. Breaking an enemy will stagger it, leaving it unable to act and be vulnerable. Okay. Okay, precision dodge, that's good. So this is the first real test of actual combat. Okay, so that timing was a bit off. Partial stagger. Enemies will become partially staggered and their will gauge will be reduced to 50%, creating short opening attacks. Oh, I missed that initial one. Staggered. Reducing an enemy's will stagger at extra damage is dealt with an enemy's fully staggered. Okay, increasing with each strike landed, up to a maximum of 150%. Okay. Yeah, well, this is what we saw before. The um that we saw before in the tutorial. Oh. All right, so this is kind of like the halfway mark of the battle where they've kind of changed tactic, right? You know, can't really get away from him though. Let's just heal up a little bit. Now, is there a good way to run away from this or not? Or am I just doing dodges? All right, staggered again. Got him. Okay. Okay, there's kind of a bit of a breakdown there, which is nice. Following important battles, separate results screen will appear. Okay. Rewards are based on performance, including ability points and experience points. Hard leather armors. I haven't seen anything about gear so far in this, but obviously, being a Final Fantasy game, there would be. So, oh, looks like we've got to fight him later on. Okay. Gear and abilities. Gear can significantly improve the player attributes, but only when equipped via the gear tab. Similarly, the right abilities can turn the tide of battle, but only if and mastered via the tab. Mastering the existing abilities, as well as learning new ones, require ability points, which are earned in battle. Alright, so let's not worry about that so far. Let's just chase this guy down. What is he, a loot goblin? Okay. Can we just climb over? Yep. Alright, what have we got to deal with here? Is it going to eat the goblin? I'm going to guess, is it a Marlboro? It's Marble, okay. So I noticed clicking in the right stick centers on the enemy, but doesn't just like hard target the enemy. So, okay, so there's a bit of a slow swing with the tentacles. You kind of visually see when the tentacle goes under that one might come up. Okay, bit of a stink happening. I like the animation. That was really fluent. Okay, so what have we got going in here? Let's use the Rising Flames. Not too bad on the dodging. Right, let's get out of there. Alright, we've got him staggered. He's burying himself. Is he going to pop up? What's going to be the tell? Okay, he kind of popped up over there. What's going on here? How do I dodge this? Okay, so that's just a cutscene. Nice. That's good though. Cool. Cinematic strike. When the screen flashes blue like this, during pivotal moments in battle, press square before the timer runs out to deal a devastating. Okay, so timer is a little bit slow. I'm sure that there's a lot more faster and trouble ones coming up, but not doing a whole lot of damage to this guy. So there's a different toxic move. So we should really just be using flames. Use the fire at a distance, I guess. Looks like we can continually use it. It doesn't look like there's a bar that stops me. Like it doesn't wear down over time. You can just keep using it. Just wear it down. Not by much. So. Oh, he's doing 2. Get out of there. Nice. So it's kind of like a half stagger. I've done 4 times precision dodges, so that's nice. Got my timing down. Oh, I missed that one though. This battle's quite long, really, isn't it? So we've got high potions now as well. Alright, so another cinematic one, so there's nothing I can do there. Okay. Evasion. Okay, so there's another cinematic. When the screen flashes red, okay, went like that. During pivotal moment battle, press R1. Okay, so the normal dodge button instead. So you got normal attack buttons and normal dodge buttons. So it's the same contextual button that you'd normally use. So shift. Okay, got a trophy. Don't really know what it was referencing there though. It's a very strange trophy name. I've not actually looked at the trophies for this, so I don't know anything about if anything's missable or anything like that. So bad breath. Oh, I need to stay out of that gunk. Wild rage. I do like that it shows the name of the moves, actually. That's really nice. Let's get out of there. Let's get out from in front of it. And they move so well. The animation's great. What am I doing sitting in the gunk? I'm not really much of a spell user at all. I kind of prefer like the up close combat, close quarters stuff. So I normally forget about spells when I'm playing any game. But this one's really fluid. Like I can't remember. There's another similar game where you can kind of just spam your magic spell like this. It's really smooth to do. So there we go. We got him. We got him, boys. All right, level 7. All right, who's still watching in the chat? Just give a shout out. Let me know if you like. So I think I saw one of you dropped out. So things are going to get a lot worse, my friend. Okay, so we are here and we need to go to the Phoenix Gate. Yeah. Got to drive and to drink first. All right. I figured we would have gotten a little bit of a lengthy cutscene in here somewhere. Seems to be doing all right now. Okay, so he believes that he should have had the Phoenix instead. So he doesn't currently have an icon in him. Seems to be the case. Okay. So he has the Phoenix blessing. So who actually has the Phoenix inside of him? I guess we'll find out. So at the start of the game, the very first thing you do is you're battling as the Phoenix against Ifrit. So it's if it's anything like Final Fantasy 15, that's kind of showing well, Final Fantasy 15, they had the start of the game showing the end of the game in basically like a little playable cutscene. I expect they've done a little bit of the same here. But it might even be just the first battle or something, not the final battle. If it's the final battle, and it's kind of the thing everybody saw at the showcases, because I believe that that battle that we saw was the same at the start, and it's not like they're showing the end of the game at a showcase, right? So it's gonna be maybe the first major battle, or like the start or end of the second act, maybe. But I mean, we get acquainted with the Acons pretty quickly, I believe. So there's something shady going on here. Yeah, he's a traitor, huh? No, there we go. No, he's a traitor. Okay, Wade. So now we know his name. Wade. I was expecting more of a Biggs and Wedge scenario. Fight of the Fledgling. Okay. So I guess this is another chapter then, I guess. So I guess we're playing a few different scenarios with the different characters, but largely just to push the story ahead. It is very dark where there isn't a light source. So I guess that does make the extra details stand out a little bit better though. Okay. All right, let's go through. Now, let's just cause some damage. Oh, he's out of breath. So he can do a bit of combat by the looks of it. A little bit of a phoenix flame in the sword. Is that your first kill, my lord? Okay, so Curaga. So it looks like he gets pretty winded, this little one, just from doing like one or two moves. Little Joshua. So Imperial Legionnaire. Like R1 is still allowing to evade, but when you're doing it, it's just backwards. So it's different to Clyde. There's no forward or side, or it's just he just purely just moves backwards out of the way. So and his name's Tyler. Okay. Cauterize the wounds. Just noticing a little bit of stream of light coming in behind the camera. All right, here we go. Okay, so we've got a bit in front of us. What's over here? Can we go through? No, it's just like a hallway. It's one direction. That's all. I should have a look here real quick. Attributes tab, comprehensive list of overview of lives, current level abilities and gear. That's what I wanted to have a look at, gear. We've not actually done anything to do with that yet. So let's see. Alright, gear and icons tab used for equipping weapons, armor, as well as assigning iconic abilities to the slots. So we have Rosarian Oath and the Rosarian Belt. It's the only thing we have at the moment in those categories. Hard leather armlets. So timely focus, timely. So there are all the accessibility things. I don't really want to keep them in my inventory either. I just want to put them in a box somewhere. So, all right, menu abilities. Ability points can be spent in the abilities tab to acquire new abilities. Details of each ability and okay. Sword indicates the ability's capacity for damage, and stars indicating for breaking the will. Okay. Okay, cool. So we've got kind of like, if we zoom out a little bit, we've kind of got like a couple of things going on here. So I'm guessing that we kind of get access to different icons that show up around the outsides. Melee attack damage. All right, ability points, we have 246, so we can kind of add them to areas. Lunge attack, I don't know if we have any of these things. Let's try and get a couple more abilities that we don't have, I guess. Or do they just... Okay, we already have them. So there's no way to upgrade them. It just kind of tells you what they are. It says we've mastered all of those, and we've learned that. Unable to master ability, insufficient points. Okay, cool. So you can master it by using points. So the abilities are upgradable by the looks of it. So downward thrust. So we learnt the lunge is X and square at the same time. While in the air, okay, to slice down. Let's get a hold of some of these. So use up a lot of the points just to kind of unlock some new abilities. Hold triangle to potency of the smell. The potency of the smell. Um, I'm not going to worry so much about the magic or the physical abilities at the moment. Burning blade, hold down to imbue this blade in fire. Yeah, cool. Um, so I guess when they're mastered, they're kind of like filled in red, where these is kind of just have like a side ring, but in a like red ring. So taunt, swift recovery for evade. Use R1 to recover immediately. Definitely want that. That's mastered by the looks of it, so there's no upgrades to that. Stomp. Use X in the air. Kick off nearby enemy. We can get most of these abilities straight away, so I don't know what the deal is with the ability points being so like readily available. So unless they're a lot more in depth. So let's just, because we have the points, we might as well just get all of these things right. We'll worry about mastering them later. So grade hold. Do a quick save because it's been a little while. Items list. Items used in quests. Okay. Assigning shortcuts. Too worried. I'll just work on the ones that I've picked up so far. Journal. Information on main story progress. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. And we kind of got a bit of better idea with abilities and stuff now. So I suppose there's just the one way to go. There really is just one way to go. Oh, okay. Gotta hold that in. He's really done some damage in this area, hasn't it? So pick him while he's down. Level 7 captain. Really wasn't that bad. There was a bit of a build up there for nothing. Ah, we got a dragoon in the midst. Oh shit. Wrong button, of course. There we go. Night of the Blinding Dawn. Here we go. Okay, cool. So we get a better idea on the faster moves set of a more capable enemy. So okay. Hey, that wasn't too bad at all, actually. So I'm wondering if I need to do 2 dodges there, because it's kind of like a swirling motion. Go stagger him. Let's do some damage. That was alright. Ooh. It's so good fighting against a Dragoon. Classic Final Fantasy enemy and friend. Man, I hope there's a lot more of this versing like traditional classes of enemies. That would be nice. So iconic punishment. That's such a good word. All right, we're halfway done. There's going to be like a halfway point for damage. Oh, there we go. He's sped up a little bit. So, like every other game at the moment, you're doing more. You get halfway through a battle and they up their skill set. Oh, I forgot. I have a ability that I can use there when I'm in the air. Staggered him. Oh, nice. I have to remember when I can jump over him. Like, there's a abilities that I can do. Yeah, so whatever I just unlocked, right? So I somehow ended up in the air. Let's go for it. There we go. No, that was fun. There's going to be a whole lot more of that, I hope. Alright, let's see who this guy is. They've infiltrated the ranks. Alright, just bounce something at us. Oh, okay. Oh no. Oh, really? Oh. Daddy? Oh, well, sorry, Josh. I don't think your Kuraga's gonna help. Yeah. Oh, this is gonna set him off. Here we go. He's gonna go all carry on their ass. Alright, here we go. So good. Such a loyal bird. Look at that. I don't actually know where the demo ended. I might have to go back and check some other people's streams, and I suspect it's not too much further than this, but we haven't really been going very long, so. Alright, here we go. This is the battle that we were looking at before, so. Well, I didn't do this part on stream, but. Is the very, very start of the game. Alright, let's see what these icon battles are about. Okay, so embodying the Phoenix, following commands are available when playing as a Phoenix. Fire, aim, evade. Okay, I don't know how much aiming we need to do here, but your opponent is directly within your sights. Targeting circle will expand. Okay, that is the time to fire. Okay, it's good the little video demo that they really set out. Oh, okay, that's the aiming. Yeah, this wasn't a thing before in the demo. I don't think it well not in the demo. The at the start of the game, I wasn't aiming at anything. I was just pressing the button. So we need to evade. So it's kind of hanging around loosely around the enemy. You can see they kind of it kind of loosely swings over the okay, and I need to dodge a little bit better. There's nowhere to heal. So okay. So they said that these battles were kind of dynamic, right? So I thought I dodged that, but if you find yourself low on HP, use circle to cast the Flames of Rebirth to restore all of your health. Okay, sure, sure. Well, it keeps the battle going, I guess. So I wonder if it is it dynamic that this part keeps going until you do a certain amount of damage, or does it just move on like a cinematic kind of thing eventually if you're not doing so much? I feel like it's really flexible with the timing for the dodging cinematic evasion attacks. This kind of reminds me of the cinematic songs in Theater Rhythm. It needs a little bit more timing and groove to it to be really, really smooth. Looks good though. Looks really good. Question is, does this play the same every single time? I know there's actually like a new game. There's a couple of new game plus modes that I've heard of so far, where they change how things are actually done. But I haven't seen what they actually change. Oh, damn it, I missed that. Okay. Sometimes it's really hard seeing the little sparking build up that you're doing on the enemy, and damnation. Supposed to just attack the ball? Or am I supposed to attack him? Yeah, just attack him. There we go. Damn. Nice. That wasn't really a well, I mean, it was kind of a cinematic ending, you know. It wasn't. There wasn't a big move I had to do or anything like that. So. Ah. Oh, well, he seems into control to me. Seemed to know what he was doing. He didn't seem out of control. Oh, he's gotten up again. Oh no. That doesn't seem good. No. Must be something you can do. This is brutal. What the hell? The hell? Holy. Oh no. Oh no. That is savage. What the hell? Oh man. How much of that are we looking forward to? Jeez, that is. As soon as he clamped down on the Phoenix beak, then you just knew it was all. They really did such a build up for protecting Joshua in the promos leading up to playing the game. Is he taken prisoner? What? Ah. Oh, damn. There we go. We got our intro card. It's only a couple of hours in, really. So 13 years later. That's a long time. That's a long time. Hmm. So the icons are fighting, huh? All right. Woken. Chance encounter. Okay. All right. New icon abilities. Icon abilities. Scarlet Cyclone. Heatwave. Are now available for acquisition and upgrade. On the abilities tab. Okay. Abilities must be. Let's just check that out real quick. Gear and icons. Uh, Rising Flame Scarlet Cycle. So it looks like you can just you might be able to assign them to different buttons. Yes, you can. Yeah, we'll just leave them as they are. Recommended. They tried something that didn't look too far from this in Final Fantasy XV with Titan, actually. So All right, for the horde. All right, so why are they trying to get them to prime? All right. So it looks like the enemies have a little bit of extra health now. So they're up level 10. Nice. Good, good, good. You know, learning the timing is not too bad, actually. You just got to follow the visual cues a little bit. Looks nice. Oh, okay. I missed that one. There's always one move that's slightly off. Should really be saving the more powerful moves for when I actually stagger them, but but they both work. Still did quite a bit of damage. So she does look similar to the Shiva well, one of the characters that relate to Shiva in Final Fantasy XIV. Noticing a lot of similarities with some of the characters. There's actually a character I noticed in, I think, just in one of the trailers that looked like Rauban, which is another character from 14. Okay, so what's going on here? Okay. It's doing quite a lot of damage. There we go. Oh, I didn't get out of the way there quick enough. Shiva defeated. All right, we've got the frozen tear material. And as she fought, shed tears of ice, which shattered and bloodstained earth below. Just incredible. So they kind of have like really nice lore. The little extra collectibles you get that are material based. Oh, cinematic visuals are so good. It's so her name was Jill. I don't know if we ever learnt that before. Nice, getting some good moves now. All right. We've okay. So I thought that maybe there'd be another wave, or are they going to do this? Very reminiscent of Final Fantasy VIII. Hmm. Right. Okay. Huh. Nice amount of damage in that one. Okay, so what is he throwing at me? Is it more of an ice thing or a lightning thing? by the power of the crystals. Okay. I feel like I'm getting a little bit of audio loss. So I might not have solved my audio problems that I was having earlier. Like, I mean, like on the Xbox may actually be something I'm dealing with now on the PlayStation. I have to check one of my switches. It might be the splitter. Meteorite. Just as drops of molten ore fall from the smith's oven to the floor to cool, so too do they fall from the celestial foundry, where the gods forge their divine instruments of war, or so it is believed. All these otherworldly outcasts meteorites. Freedom. All right, we got to get out of here. Let's go. Yep, they gave up pretty quickly, didn't they? That's lightning. Is that Ramu? Oh, that's intense. Brutal. We're getting to know the icons pretty quickly in this, I think. Wonder if they've left us any surprises. So that's Fenrir, maybe. Are they going for a bit of a Unalesca vibe? Something like that? think he might know who it is. All right. The Hideaway. How big these city town areas are supposed to be. All right. So that seems like to be a good enough place to call it for now. So looks like it's going to be hard to pull myself away from this game for very long. It's quite good. So whether or not I continue it on stream in full, or if I just pop in and do a stream whenever, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about it yet. So because I hadn't really started the game, I didn't really know how it was going to kind of pan out. So we'll see. I'll decide sooner than later, because I either keep playing it or I wait and stream every little bit. But I mean, it's about 40 hours worth of story, so and I've heard about 70 if I want to 100% it. So well, just do everything in the game. Um, so yeah. So but yeah, got a podcast in a couple of hours, the Hall of Gamers podcast. So if you're watching, feel free to pop in and check that out. They stream on Twitch, so joining them as a regular host now. So I've been in it for a few weeks, so it's been going on for about a month. But yeah, so with that, I will see you next time I stream. I still have a playthrough of Resident Evil 7 in VR that I'm doing, which I have a few videos up already. So I'm about halfway through the game as far as I can see. Doing that on PSVR. So I need to litter in a few more streams of those over the next week or so as well, just to try and tie that game up. It'd be nice to do Resident Evil 8 as well, but I don't have a VR 2, so it'll just be a pancake version of that. And whether or not I get to that, I don't know if I'll get to streaming that soon. I want to do a couple of things. So, saying that, I will leave the stream there, and thank you very much for watching and hanging out. And I will catch you the next time I go ahead and do this. So keep an eye out, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching.